The Fisherman and His Wife by the Brothers Grimm.
There was once a poor fisherman who lived with his wife in a tiny pigsty close to the sea. Every day he went out to fish. One day he sat by the shore, watching the shining waves and his float resting on the water, when suddenly it was dragged deep below. He pulled hard on the line and brought up a very large fish. To his surprise, the fish spoke. "Please let me live. I am not a real fish. I am an enchanted prince. Put me back into the water and let me go." The fisherman answered, "Oh ho, if you can talk, I want nothing to do with you. Swim away, sir, as you please." He gently put the fish back, and it darted down, leaving a long red streak on the water. The fisherman went home to his wife in their pigsty and told her what had happened. He told her how he had caught a great fish, how it had said it was an enchanted prince, and how he had set it free. "Did you not ask him for anything?" cried his wife. "We live miserably in this dirty sty. Go back and tell the fish we want a snug little cottage." The fisherman did not like this idea, but he obeyed. He walked back to the seashore. Now the water looked yellow and green. He went to the edge of the waves and called out softly, "O man of the sea, hearken to me. My wife Ilsebil will have her own will, and hath sent me to beg a boon of thee." The fish swam up and asked, "Well, what is her will? What does your wife want?" The fisherman replied, "She says that when I caught you, I should have asked for something. She does not want to live in the pigsty anymore. She wishes for a snug little cottage." "Go home then," said the fish. "She is in the cottage already." The man hurried home and found his wife standing at the door of a neat little cottage. Come in," she said. "Is this not better than the filthy pigsty?" Inside there was a small parlor, a bedroom and a kitchen. Behind the cottage was a little garden full of flowers and fruit, and a courtyard with ducks and chickens. "Ah," said the fisherman, "how happily we shall live now." "We will try," answered his wife. For a week or two, everything went well. Then Ilsebil said, "Husband, this cottage is not big enough. The garden and yard are far too small. I want a large stone castle to live in. Go back to the fish and tell him to give us a castle." "Wife," said the fisherman, "I do not like to go again. Perhaps he will be angry. We ought to be content with this pretty cottage." "Nonsense," said she. "He will do it gladly. Go and try." The fisherman sighed and went, his heart heavy. At the sea, the water looked dark blue and gloomy, though the surface was still calm. He went close to the water and called again, "O man of the sea, hearken to me. My wife Ilsebil will have her own will, and hath sent me to beg a boon of thee." The fish appeared and asked, "What does she want now?" The fisherman answered sadly, "My wife wants to live in a stone castle." "Go home," said the fish. "She is already standing at the gate." The fisherman returned and saw a great stone castle. His wife stood proudly at the gate. "Look," she said, "is this not grand?" Inside were many servants. The rooms were richly furnished with golden tables and chairs. Behind the castle was a beautiful garden and a large park. The park stretched half a mile, filled with sheep, goats, hares, and deer. In the courtyard were stables and cowhouses. "Well," said the fisherman, "this is wonderful. Now we will live cheerful and happy here for the rest of our lives." "Perhaps," said his wife, "but let us sleep on it before we decide." They went to bed in their grand rooms. The next morning, Ilsebil woke early. Daylight shone into the castle and she pushed her husband with her elbow. "Get up, husband," she said. "We must be king of all the land." "Wife," said the man, "why should we wish to be king? I will not be king. Then I will, she answered. Go to the fish. I will be king. But wife, said the fisherman, how can you be king? The fish cannot make you king. Say no more, she replied. Go and try. I will be king. So the fisherman walked away, deeply sorrowful that his wife wanted so much power. This time the sea looked dark grey. Small curling waves rolled, tipped with foam as he began his call. He cried out, O man of the sea, hearken to me. My wife Ilsebil will have her own will, and hath sent me to beg a boon of thee. Well, what would she have now? Asked the fish. Alas, said the man, my wife wants to be king. Go home, said the fish. She is king already. The fisherman went home again. As he neared the palace, he saw soldiers marching and heard trumpets and drums. Inside, his wife sat on a throne of gold and diamonds, a golden crown on her head. On each side stood 6 tall maidens, each one a head taller than the last, forming a graceful line beside her throne. Well, wife, said the fisherman, are you king? Yes, she answered, I am king. He looked at her for a long time. What a fine thing it is to be king, he said at last. Now we shall have nothing more to wish for as long as we live. I do not know, she replied. Never is a long time. I am king, but I grow tired of it. I want to be emperor. Alas, wife, said the fisherman, why should you wish to be emperor? Go to the fish, she demanded. I will be emperor. No, wife, he pleaded. The fish cannot make an emperor. I do not even dare to ask. I am king, she snapped, and you are my slave. Go at once. The poor man was forced to obey and walked sadly back to the stormy shore. He muttered to himself, this will end badly. We are asking too much. Today the fish will be tired, and we will be sorry. When he reached the sea, the water was black and muddy. A great wind blew over the waves and rolled them fiercely. Still, he went as near as he dared and called out once more with a shaking voice. O man of the sea, hearken to me. My wife Ilsebil will have her own will and hath sent me to beg a boon of thee. What would she have now? Asked the fish. Ah, said the fisherman, she wants to be emperor. Go home, said the fish. She is emperor already. He hurried home and saw a palace even grander than before. His wife sat on a very high throne made of solid gold. On her head was a huge crown, 2 yards high. On each side stood guards and servants, arranged in a line from the tallest giant down to a tiny dwarf no bigger than a finger. Before her stood princes, dukes, and earls. The fisherman went up to her and asked, Wife, are you emperor? Yes, she said. I am emperor. What a fine thing it is to be emperor, he said slowly. Wife, now you must be content. There is nothing greater. We shall see, she answered. I will be pope next. Oh, wife, wife, cried the fisherman. How can you be pope? There is only one pope in all Christendom. I will be pope this very day, she replied. But the fish cannot make you pope, he protested. How foolish, she said. If he can make an emperor, he can make a pope. Go and ask him. The fisherman went again. The wind now raged, and the sea tossed in boiling waves. Ships rolled wildly on the waves. In the sky, only a small patch of blue remained. To the south, everything glowed red, as if a fearful storm were rising. Terrified, the fisherman trembled so much his knees knocked together. But still he walked to the shore. He called out through the roaring wind, O man of the sea, hearken to me. My wife Ilsebil will have her own will, and hath sent me to beg a boon of thee. What does she want now? Asked the fish. Ah, said the fisherman, my wife wants to be pope. Go home, said the fish. "She is Pope already." When the fisherman returned, he found Ilsebil sitting on a throne 2 miles high. She wore 3 great crowns on her head. Around her stood all the splendor and power of the church. On each side, 2 rows of burning lights shone, some as large as the tallest tower, some as small as tiny rushlights. "Wife," said the fisherman, gazing at the scene, "are you Pope?" "Yes," she answered, "I am Pope." "Well," he said, "it is a grand thing to be Pope. Now surely you must be content, for you can be nothing greater." "I will think about that," she replied calmly. That night they went to bed, but Ilsebil could not sleep. All night she turned and twisted, wondering what she could be next. At last, near morning, she dozed. Then the sun rose, and its light shone through the window. She woke and stared at it. "Ha," she thought, "even as Pope, I cannot stop the sun from rising." At this, anger burned in her heart. She shook her husband awake. "Husband," she cried, "go to the fish and tell him I must be lord of the sun and moon." The fisherman, half asleep, was shocked and tumbled out of bed. "Alas, wife," he said, "can you not be content with being Pope?" "No," she said sharply. "I am uneasy while the sun and moon rise without my command. Go to the fish at once." The man went, shivering with fear. As he walked to the shore, a dreadful storm arose. Trees shook, and even the rocks trembled. The sky turned black with storm clouds. Lightning flashed and thunder rolled. Out on the sea, huge black waves rose like mountains, crowned with white foam. The fisherman crept towards the roaring water and cried out as loudly as he could, "O man of the sea, hearken to me. My wife Ilsebil will have her own will, and hath sent me to beg a boon of thee." "What does she want now?" asked the fish. "Ah," said the poor man, "she wants to be lord of the sun and moon." "Go home," said the fish, "to your pigsty again." The fisherman turned at once and hurried back. The storm still raged around him. When he reached the place where the grand palaces had stood, he found no throne, no crowns, no lights, and no servants. Only the old broken pigsty by the shore. There sat his wife, just as at the beginning, in the dirty sty by the sea. All their riches, all their power, and all their fine dreams were gone in a moment, washed away like foam on the waves. And there, in their little pigsty, they live to this very day. The end. You have listened to the story about the Fisherman and His Wife by the Brothers Grimm.
If you want more stories like this, leave a follow or subscribe.